to take part in this check handover ceremony for the Walcott Place and Grass Street Urban Enhancement Project. The Walcott Place and Grass Street Urban Enhancement Project, it is a multi-collaborative undertaking being spearheaded by the Ministry of Physical Development, Housing and Urban Renewal. We are very pleased in my ministry to be partnering with the St. Lucia National Trust in developing what is undoubtedly an ambitious and bold, some may even say a brave undertaking. But I am pleased to note that this government is not short on courage, and we're not afraid of challenges, real challenges. The childhood home of Derek and Roderick Walcott lies in the heart of Castries Central, on Lower Chaussee Road, close to the intersection of Grass Street. And now nearly we have seen a great neglect in the part of this city for over the years. There has been an exodus of businesses out of these areas. In fact, a recent survey undertaken by the Housing and Urban section of my ministry, we discovered that nearly a quarter of the properties are either derelict or abandoned or vacant. You would therefore appreciate that right in what is our inner city, our central business district, we have a lot of underutilized assets. The reason for this, of course, is crime. You say Grass Street, and for many, if not most, the negative images come to mind. And the nature of crime is that even when things may settle down, you still have to handle the stigma, the perception that has already been solidified in everyone's minds about the place. And this is precisely why I say this is an ambitious project. It is taking a brave step to partner with the community, with residents in the area, to create a facility that can change the community and one that can create economic opportunities for the community. There are real challenges. Therefore, you would understand why this project is not just called the Walcott Place, but rather the Walcott Place and Grass Street Urban Enhancement Project. And with the inspirations of Derek and Roderick Walcott, it's about giving the youth a new sense of national pride. In my humble opinion, this project will be the boldest statement at urban renewal that my government, that any government, has undertaken thus far. And I am tremendously pleased as the minister responsible for urban renewal to have been given the opportunity to champion this project. And while urban renewal is perhaps still very theoretical in the Caribbean, there have been examples of successes of it throughout the world, and at times in even more difficult cities. For instance, some time ago, I headed a team of which my chief architect was a part of. I led that team to Medellin, Colombia, where we were invited to witness urban settlements in this great city. I think we all know about the reputation of Medellin, which used to be the drug capital of the world. But today Medellin has transformed itself, and they're continuing to do that by investing in a very robust urban renewal program. And they are building cultural institutions in the heart of areas that were previously considered ghetto. They have created literary and other festivals to help change the image of the city as a place of learning and not a place of killing. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, some of you would have seen the images of favela. Favela is a word that's used in Brazil to describe what is called a slum. And we're talking about shanty towns that stretch for miles on end up mountainsides on a scale that we don't have here in St. Lucia. And again, at the heart of these Brazilian efforts is urban renewal. At the heart of the Brazilian efforts is a strong sense of creating economic relationships and opportunities through urban renewal exercises. It involves infusing the arts into socio-economically deprived but culturally rich areas. And in Castries, we have a rich heritage to build on. We just need to rediscover it. Castries, as you know, Castries gave birth to scholars such as Derek Walcott, Roderick Walcott, and a whole lot of other notable scholars. These same streets of Grass Street and the Chaussee gave birth to great men and women. Castries gave birth to two Nobel laureates. Castries is a place which should offer the visitor that comes to its streets a lot more and a richer city experience. Ladies and gentlemen, this project will celebrate the traditions and the vernacular architecture of old Castries. By celebrating the birthplace of Derek and Roderick Walcott, we're making a bold step in celebrating this heritage. We are saying that Castries must continue to give birth to greatness once again. As a first step, in the next few weeks, the full project will be unveiled more fully to the public as it begins to break ground. In parting, I wish to end with a well-known Chinese proverb. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. This project is taking another important step in renewing Castries. It is a necessary step. It is not the total sum of what will be required for urban renewal in Castries. We must also address issues of housing and circulation as well. But this initiative is a step we must take nonetheless. I wish to thank the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, for their kind generosity and the vision of our Prime Minister in seeing the merit in this bold and exciting project. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, Ambassador Chang. I thank you profusely. I thank you one and all.
It's really my great pleasure and honor to attend this founding ceremony. On behalf of the government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, I'm glad to announce that my government has agreed to sponsor $2.8 million for the Walcott Place and Glass Street Urban Enhancement Project. The first installment of $500,000, equivalent to $1,344,100 EC dollars, for its mobilization stage, will be handed over to the government of St. Lucia today. This project will convert the childhood home of the twin brothers, Derek and Roderick Walcott, and adjacent properties into a national cultural landmark as a center for interpretation, inspiration, learning, and celebration of the Walcott artistic genius, and also to rejuvenate the economy of the Glass Street area, an inner city zone within Castries. The project includes the reconstruction of the home, a new building on its east to be developed as the Walcott Museum, the extension of Glass Street together with parking and drop-off zones of Leslie Land Road for the access of pedestrian movement and the service and security of vehicles, as well as additional urban enhancement streetscape measures for adjoining streets. We believe this project will bring benefits to the local residents, promote cultural activities, and provide a new tourist attraction. The success of this project will set a new model for future projects to regenerate vitality for individual community and the entire country. In conclusion, it is my firm belief that through our joint efforts, this Walcott Place and Glass Street Urban Enhancement Project will further strengthen our existing cordial relations. I thank you.
Today we venture another step closer to realizing an old and long overdue dream, that of honoring our very own in the persons of Derek and Roderick Walcott. While the dream is long overdue, it is not a stale dream. It is a dream that has found new life in the creation of a museum and arts center on Lower Chaussee Road. It is a dream that marries a number of noble pursuits, national pride and identity building, arts and culture, heritage conservation, urban renewal, and tourism product development. It has been said by many cynics and pessimists, perhaps with good reason, that St. Lucia has been a society of dead heroes. We often neglect to honor our heroes, those who helped shape our identity, our freedom, and our convictions. We remember them only after they're dead and buried. However, it is in fact a symptom of our colonial past that we have often not realized and recognized too loudly our successes and the successful among us. And so in many respects, this project signals that we are becoming a more mature society. Earlier this year, at our 35th anniversary, we were all pleased to come together as a country to honor St. Lucia's first Prime Minister, Sir John Compton. Constitution Park was transformed, enhancing its aesthetic quality, and there were many who were pleased to see that a Labour Party government could take such a bold step in honoring a Prime Minister of an opposing political party. But it showed that St. Lucia has matured. We can take a new path in striving for our own identity. We can celebrate our own because John Compton no longer belonged to just the United Workers' Party. He belonged to all St. Lucians. Today, Ambassador, the Republic of China Taiwan is helping our nation to continue along this maturing path through a national project to honor and celebrate the memory and intellect of the Walcott brothers. Most St. Lucians know of our 1992 Nobel Prize winner for literature, the Honorable Derek Walcott. However, the majority still know of him only in name, and not through the genius of his works, his plays, his poems, his words, what he has produced, and what has brought him worldwide fame. Even fewer of our young generation know of his brother, Roddy Walcott. Roddy was a man who for a number of years held the fort here in St. Lucia, so to speak, while Derek had gone off to the university in Jamaica and then on to Trinidad. Roderick Walcott is remembered well by an older generation who knew of the St. Lucia Arts Guild. Simple people, amateurs who came together to produce, to create, to entertain through theater. Sadly, the Arts Guild of the 1950s and 1960s is now relegated to a distant memory. However, its raison d'etre remains in our youth who are seeking expression and opportunities through arts and creative industry. I and many others long for the day when the works of the Walcott brothers can be seen daily and enjoyed by all, young and old, native and foreign, from all walks of life. You see, Ambassador, there is a great importance that our young must see the smallness of the place from which greatness came. And this is why it is important to maintain the historicity and authenticity of the Walcott house. It is a small house, and even back then would have been surrounded by a mix of working class people. And yet within those walls, a single mother raised 3 children. Poems were written, plays were rehearsed, children were taught to sew, carnival costumes were manufactured, pans were struck in the yard, paintings were conceived, and a realization of a people's greatness was sparked there. And it all came from a tiny home, not a luxurious palace. And so this house says to our youth that mustard seeds can grow magnificent trees. It reminds us all that your path, your identity need not be shaped merely by pursuits of money and bling. It says that you can be poor, but you need not turn to crime You need not become depressed if you embrace the power of your mind. In 2006, when I was Prime Minister, we took a decision to acquire and vest the property, which had seen life as a printer, the lithographic press, and by then already been abandoned, to be placed under the responsibility of the St. Lucia National Trust for the purpose of establishing a museum. And meetings were held, and ideas were sketched, but it essentially was left in abeyance for another 5 years. Somewhere around the late 2012, I believe, trust officials met with me as the minister responsible for the trust, and one of the projects they raised was that of the proposed Walcott Museum. And I gave my opinion that the project should be pursued and undertaken to secure the financing to ensure it could finally find life. The trust has since run with the project and has partners with the Ministry of Physical Development, Housing and Urban Renewal to assist in the design, planning, project implementation, and the myriad of actions that would be necessary to make this project a success. It is now for the Ministry of Physical Development, Housing and Urban Renewal and its architectural section to feel this project, to own it, to be part of it, to identify with it, and to allow the spirit of the St. Lucian people and the Walcott family to dwell within its walls. As things go, the grant of $2.8 million US, or about 7.5 million EC dollars from the Republic of China, Taiwan, may be seen by some a small amount for all that this project hopes to achieve. However, it is a major start. I have been advised that the Trust is approaching this as a national project and will be seeking corporate support as well as additional international support so that this institution can become something world-class and truly representative of St. Lucia's cultural genius. I urge all who can to make a contribution to this national effort. Today, Your Excellency, this first check disbursement, which you will shortly present, represents an important milestone for realizing a project that will create, among other things, a reconstructed Walcott House in keeping with the traditional architectural vernacular, which will serve as a museum and gallery, and to an arts center which will include additional exhibition space, a 150-seat training experimental black box theater, which will be used for teaching theater, art rooms, and a reference library. The wish of having a center for teaching and learning the arts is a specific wish of the Honorable Derek Walcott, who has indicated that his mother, Alice Walcott, was a teacher, and that in her honor, it should always be a place of learning. Additionally, so as to ensure sustainability, it is proposed that the facility will include a gift and bookshop and restaurant with indoor and outdoor seating set within a courtyard. In the coming weeks, as the project will break ground, I am sure the media and the entire nation will be apprised in greater detail at the formal launch of the Walcott Place. And so once again, Ambassador, may I extend my thanks to the Republic of China, Taiwan for its generosity as we embark on yet another project of bilateral cooperation.